My name is Dr. Edward Lewis with Spinal Health and Nutrition. Today, we're going to talk about the most common element that is affecting most adults these days, and that is lower back pain due to long periods of sitting. We're going to talk about the cause of this, and we're going to also go through some very simple ways to prevent having lower back discomfort or pain due to long periods of sitting. Who is at risk? Pretty much people who do a lot of sitting, office workers, Uber, Lyft drivers, truck drivers, they go through this. Security guards that work sitting down with that thick security belt that puts a lot of weight and pressure on their lower back and hips, okay? Especially those who work from home. Sitting at home from sun up to sundown, or an average of 8 to 10 hours a day, without getting any type of movement or getting up to stretch, that can produce a whole lot of pressure on the lower back and hips. So the cause is simply poor posture. Whenever we are sitting for long periods of time in a slouched position, that can cause the muscles and ligaments, especially on the lower back, to overstretch. When that happens, that can cause the lower back and hips to lead to spasms and also inflammation. What is inflammation? Inflammation is the body's immune response whenever there's an area that's being injured or stressed. The body has a way of increasing its white blood cells, which will produce toxins on the area. But that can also lead to pain and discomfort because those toxins or that fluid will put a lot of pressure on those nerves. Also, when we are sitting for a long time, that causes the hamstring muscles, which are the muscles that are located on the back of our thighs, to tighten or cramp up, okay? And that's due to sitting for a long time without getting up to stretch out those hamstring muscles. And that cramping can lead to pain on the hip area, the lower back area as well. There's also another muscle that's located in the buttock region called the piriformis muscle. What runs underneath, the nerve that goes underneath that piriformis muscle, is the sciatic nerve. When that piriformis muscle tightens, it can squeeze or put pressure on that sciatic nerve, which will lead to a syndrome or condition called sciatica. That can cause excruciating pain, where the pain will travel from the lower back and hips down the legs. So, going back to the lower back again, I mentioned how long periods of sitting can do it. People who drive trucks, because they're bouncing and sitting all day as the truck goes over a rough surface, that can put a lot of pressure on the cushions that are located in between the spine called the discs at the lower back. When there's an excessive amount of pressure on those discs, eventually those discs will wear down, leading to a condition called disc degeneration. Whenever someone has disc degeneration, that can cause damage on the nerves, impingement on the nerves, leading to severe lower back pain. So let's go through some simple treatments for this, okay? I'm gonna go through some treatments. Some are, we may have to make some investments in, and some are very cost effective. The first one I want to mention is to invest in a ergonomic chair. You can find an ergonomic chair at a office store, a local office store, Amazon has everything, okay? So the purpose for sitting in the ergonomic chair is to prevent us from slouching over, okay? The ergonomic chair also has a dip in it at the lower portion of our back to maintain the curvature on the lumbar region. Another thing we must do, simply get up. Every 30 minutes, 30 minutes, we must get up and stretch. But a good stretch we can also do this stretch while we are sitting or standing, is simply bring both arms up, lean over to the side as far as we can, and you're gonna hold that stretch for 30 or 40 seconds. Then you're gonna slowly lean over to the opposite side and hold that stretch for 30 or 40 seconds. When we do this, we're gonna feel the muscles stretching along the lumbar region on both sides. That's a good way to stretch. If we don't want to spend any money on an ergonomic chair, we can also simply get a towel and roll it and put it on our lower back region to maintain the curvature, okay? We also want to consider purchasing a standing desk. A standing desk will, of course, prevent us from sitting down for a long time. So once we have the desk elevated at a higher position, we had no other choice but to stand. So we're standing, we're able to relieve pressure off the lower back, okay? And also, getting at least 30 minutes of exercise. Nothing intense, walking, stretching, doing some form of cardiovascular activity. That will help get the blood flow going, and it'll also help loosen up the joints in our spine so that we will not have this lower back discomfort. I am Dr. Edward Lewis. Thank you for listening to our channel. Please subscribe and share this video. And remember, your health is your greatest investment.